Anchors up, sells it full. Welcome to the Slipcast. How you doing today, Kyle?
Doing pretty well, Jared. How are you?
Doing good. Not going to complain. It's not often, Kyle, it's not often that I choose Ohio State not to win on this show. And I'm always happy to be wrong. By the way, new tradition, good tradition. There we go.
I think I saw the stat, Jared. First time since, was it the 1980s? That Ohio State beat a number one team at Ohio Stadium.
Really?
Well, it's not that often a number one team comes to Ohio Stadium either.
I mean, I suppose that's true. Yeah. I suppose. First time since I think the number was 1981 that a quarterback making their first start defeats the number one overall team. So that's pretty fun. It was like a 19-0, or rather an 0-19 streak that Julian Sayin just snapped. Generally, we have been the number one team. Yeah. There's not been a lot of Big Ten teams occupying the number one spot in recent years. Obviously, Michigan had a good year because they were cheating. But Penn State hasn't been number one in a while. So yeah, it's been a while.
1985.
1985, something like that.
Buckeyes beat Iowa 22-13.
Oh, that. I was talking about the other thing. Hey, imagine Iowa being number one.
I know, right?
80s was
that was
different
40 years ago.
You don't remind me.
All right, well, let's get into it. We got our Scarlet and Grade episode. We got a lot of questions we're going to have to answer here, from the offense to the defense to over the team overall. 14-7 final score in Ohio Stadium. Buckeyes pull out the victory over Texas. And going in here, I think a lot of us expected it to be a very defensive heavy type of game. If the Cotton Bowl showed us anything, it's going to be slow scoring game, especially when you take in the factor of two young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of new faces on the offensive line for both teams there, and very stout defenses overall.
Yeah. Camera just turned off, but that's okay. We'll keep talking. Oh, and it's back on. I need to replace the USB cable or something, but whatever. We move forward. The Spike says, look like a fight between two MMA fighters that have killed someone in the ring. Very cagey. Yeah, that's fair. Then you guys also have to add in the fact that it's September. Like, the defenses are always a little bit ahead of the offenses in September, so that's also a huge. It's also a huge role in this. Am I not sharing my screen? I'm not. Could have sworn I was. There we go. Sharing my screen to the Discord chat. Felt like we kept the defensive voice from the chip run. Defensively, all right, there. Yeah. The defense was swarming. The defense was hitting purpose. They were hitting people. All right, Kyle, let's get to the report card. Iggy with no PIs is always good. All right, Kyle, let's start with the offense.
Sure. I start with the offense. Game plan. I kind of expected Ohio State to be run heavy.
Got
34
that.
attempts. 34 attempts. That's pretty heavy in my eyes, especially when they only had 54 plays offensively, and 34 of those were rushing. Yeah, it was a smart game plan. You gotta don't put your quarterback into a bad position, and we'll get to the quarterback here. But I think game plan, I think was fine. I thought they did fine. Lot of week one issues.
Yeah.
Totally expect that with drop balls, uncharacteristic with certain players. Offensive line looking shaky at times, but taking granted who they played. Probably the toughest defensive line, if not the second toughest defensive line Ohio State will face this year.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You know, we always talk about when we do these report cards that you have to do it on a what's the word I'm looking for here, Kyle? On a scale, on a curve. Like you have to base it off of expectations. You have to base it off of who your opponent is. So we are recording people against themselves, essentially.
Yep. I would say gameplay. I would say a B plus for me. I'd say B plus.
I can't edit the text layer for some reason, so that's awesome. Can't I edit the text layer? What the
What
absolute
would
hell?
you grade it, Jared? What would you grade it, Jared?
All right, we're just gonna go without the visual if I can't make that work. Overall, I'm gonna give the game plan probably like a B plus. I would like to have seen a little bit more passing. It does feel like to me that Day seems really bound and determined to turn this into a running football team, even when it's not working. And that's how he lost to Michigan, quite frankly. And I'd really like to see the pass set up the run instead of the run set up the pass. I just think that's the strength of this offense.
Yeah. So what was the grade you would say?
B plus.
All right. All right. What's the next question, Jared?
In-game coaching management of the offense. Interpret that how you will, as far as adjustments and, you know, the overall, you know, how did they coach in game? How did they make changes? How did they manage the player rotation? All of that.
I would say B. I would give it a B for me. I wish I wish there was a little bit more. I know that they were trying to, again, putting Sand in a good position to succeed, but I would like to see a little bit. I would like to see a little bit more. You had some very veteran players on the outside, and we saw it. We saw it a couple of times. Like he threw it to them, and they made plays. So I like to trust the wide receivers maybe a little bit more.
Okay, Kyle going with a B. I would have liked to have seen them move a little bit closer, a little bit more to the passing game as things went on. So for that same reason, I'm going to go with a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, how do you guys feel about the last two questions? I know I was focused on the other thing and I maybe didn't get to you on the game plan and the in-game coaching. And Kyle, what was your grade on game plan for the offense again? I got it working. I fixed it.
There we go. Yeah, it was B plus. It was a B plus as well. Okay. Quarterbacks. Quarterback here. Honestly, there wasn't that many bad plays from Sand. Quite a few drops. I think there was like 3, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 drops in that game, and he was just on target. Couple of plays, he'll look at the tape and be like, there was a wide open wide receiver right there, maybe on the other side or in the middle of the field where he wasn't looking.
He had Claire was his primary read on that fourth down and delivered it right on the damn button. Like,
yes, absolutely, yeah. That was
his
perfect.
first read.
The first quarter,
it's his first game.
Yeah, that was the first quarter. He was like spot on. The completion percentage didn't mean anything about how well he played, especially in that first quarter there. So I'd say an A minus. I honestly would say an A minus. Your first time out there and you go against that kind of defense and didn't turn the ball over. You did what was asked for you. Yeah,
I'm gonna go
actually
A plus.
Just make it an A. Just give it an A. Actually, for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go A plus. His first ever start against a tremendous defense. He took care of the ball. He had no turnovers. He, again, was incredibly accurate. I know the stats don't show it and I don't care. I'm already like fully invested on Julian Sayin after one game. Like, I'm all in on Sayin.
Absolutely.
I saw a lot of CJ Stroud in that game. I see a lot of CJ Stroud.
His pocket presence was just absolutely just superb. I was amazed, just absolutely amazed about how well his pocket presence was.
And poised, did not at all rattled.
Poised. Very poised, yeah. Man, run blocking.
Consider that's the defensive line is a strength, and the linebackers is a strength of.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'll say a B. Actually, no, I'll say B minus. Actually, give me a B minus for that one. Granted, yes, for the type of defense that they went up, but man, 2.3 on the ground. I understand who they played, but 2.3 on the ground, and there's a ton of plays where the running backs were just hit right away too. Yeah. I think a B minus is reasonable.
I'm gonna be a little bit nicer. Again, a lot of new faces on the offensive line. You have to grade. Yeah, a lot of new faces on the offensive line. Really good defensive line they're playing against. I think at least some fault falls on the game plan and and quite frankly the running backs, but we'll get to them later as far as the lack of production on the ground. I think there's some room to spread on the blame.
Yep.
I don't want to put it all on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Chat says C.
Yeah. Pass blocking A. Just absolutely great pass blocking.
I agree. I absolutely agree. As a matter of fact,
0 sacks. Yeah, 0 sacks. Yes.
I think I'm gonna throw a plus on it.
All right, that's fine.
Again, a lot of new faces on the offensive line. Texas has some elite defensive ends, and where were they? I didn't think about Austin Sareveld once this game, which is exactly what you want.
Yep.
Agreed. Absolutely tremendous. I didn't think about I did not think about pass blocking once when I watched the game live. I just didn't even think about pass blocking, and that's what you want.
The running backs here. honestly, I'm I'll say B plus. I know the numbers do not do justice there. Donaldson 3.5 per carry, Peoples 2 per carry, but they were put in a tough position. And how many times how many tackle for losses there could have been in this game, but Donaldson People was able to break that first tackle or be able to lean forward and get that extra yard or two. I thought for what they were going up against and for the run blocking, I thought they did pretty well.
I think our running backs are fine.
No, you can't compare them to last year. Last year was just such an amazing group.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably fair. But I will. Yeah. Spikes, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna. I think the running backs so far, from what I've seen, are simply fine.
Yep.
Donaldson
Agreed.
is a guy that's going to get you 3 or 4 yards, and sometimes that's what you need, and that's fantastic. I think Donaldson also is just a good overall player as far as pass protection and just like all of the not having the ball in his hands type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Donaldson. I think he's a great addition to the team. Peoples looks like he's trying to break a play every play, and he needs to get over that. Overall, I'm not excited about the running backs right now. Dobbins sophomore syndrome. I mean, quite frankly, Henderson sophomore syndrome as well. They both did that their sophomore years, where they just decided they wanted to break stuff and it wasn't working.
All right. Next up is the receivers, but before we get to the receivers, we're going to take our first quick ad break here. Sloopcast.com, thesloopcast.com, can't forget the in front, is your go-to link, anything and everything Sloopcast related. Patreon.thesloopcast.com is our Patreon page. Discord.thesloopcast for Discord. YouTube.thesloopcast. You get it. All of that and other sites such as our merchandise, our Spotify, 7071 links are all over at thesloopcast.com. We'll take that first ad break and be right back.
Suncard asks, do catches by running backs count as receivers? Yes. We're not, with the exception of the quarterbacks, because a quarterback's a quarterback, we're not really grading position groups as much as we're grading phases of the game.
Correct, yeah. So receiving here, I got to say, C. Expectations here, the high expectations that actually give me a C minus, honestly. The expectations for these receivers are very high. JJ, Tate, Ennis, the transfer with Claire, just a exceptional receiving core here. And for how many drops there were, it needs attention right away here. Hopefully it was just first game jitters there,
or bad gloves.
Or bad gloves, yeah. and then move on from that. So, yeah, I say C minus.
Again, expectations are expectations. This is an excellent. I mean, it needs to be said that this was a really excellent Texas secondary, but that doesn't justify the drops. Especially, you got a freshman quarterback out there. Redshirt freshman, but a freshman quarterback out there. You got to be doing everything you can to support him, and that doesn't include dropping the ball.
Yep.
That being said, Tate had a monster catch to blow the game open, so you got to give a little bit of credit there. And for what it's worth, like after the first quarter where they had bad drops, they put things back together.
They did. Yeah.
So
what grade do you have, Jared?
I'm gonna go with a C plus again, because the expectations for this receiving group are sky high. and they need to meet those expectations.
All right. Drives conversions. Ohio State was 3 for 12 on third downs, 1 for 2 on fourth downs. I would say C. I'd say C.
Hold on.
For,
let's
for this one here.
Let's take a whole look at this. I think what was the red zone conversions?
1 for 1.
1 for 1 in the red zone.
Ohio State, and 0 for 2 for Texas.
Well, we'll worry about Texas's stats when we get to the defense. But so 100% of touchdowns achieved in the red zone. As far as just like keeping drives together, not fantastic. Not bad. Again, you have to consider you're playing a really, really good defense. So what did you say it was, Kyle?
What, for my rating?
Did you? Or did you
C.
ask? Okay.
It was a C.
I'm gonna go a little bit nicer than you. I'm gonna go with a B plus. It's actually a lot a bit nicer than you. Again, I think you have to consider
2 for
you have
6
to consider
in the first half, and then 1 for 6 in the second half.
But they got the touchdown when they got into the red zone, which ask Texas if that's a big deal or not. That to me counts.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
They got some crucial
did have to convert that on a fourth down. That was their one and only fourth down conversion, and they got it done. Credit to the offense to get that yard for the touchdown.
And I'll just go ahead and say this: these were the top 2 defenses in the country on the field. Maybe with consideration of Georgia, maybe Oregon, who added a bunch of key pieces through the transfer portal. We'll see how that goes. But
yeah,
in my opinion, these are the best 2 defenses, and with that in consideration, B plus.
Explosive.
Said what? D?
Yep, I saw 1D there. Explosiveness. Ohio State has had one play of over 20 yards all game. That
was to Tate.
And that was to Tate. Yep. Jeremiah Smith had 1 that went for 16 yards. Claire had 1 for 11. And Tate had 1 that went for 40. So I think in total there was only 2 plays that went for more than 15 yards. So as far as explosiveness, it D plus. If I'm going off of explosiveness, it's a D plus.
Again, I'm gonna grade based off of expectation. No one was expecting this to be a big high scoring game. Texas has a really, really good defense, so I'm gonna give them a little more leeway than you. I'm gonna go with a C plus.
Okay. All right.
Chat.
I think the D. All right, waiting for chat. We'll kind of move on to the C for chat here. All right, moving on to defense. I think defense we can move a little quicker because I think these are going to be a little bit easier to grade here.
I agree.
So game plan, A plus. A plus. Give me all the pluses that you can, Jared, for the game plan.
All right. Well, I'm working inside of a new frame here, so I think it's just going to be 1, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Stellar day for the defense. Yeah. I have, we got an A plus from chat as well. I 100% agree. Absolutely stellar game plan from the defense.
Yeah. All right. What's next there? In-game coaching, A plus. Keep moving around, A plus.
I'm gonna go with just an A minus here. Texas did start to get a little bit of momentum in the second half. So I feel like they made better adjustments through the game. So I'll go A minus. And
we tricked Texas into playing a Big Ten game.
Well, let's be honest. They belong in the Big Ten. They're way too smart to be in the SEC.
Fair. Chat gave an A+.
Okay.
As well. All right. What is up there next? I can't read.
Tackling.
A. I would say A. I think there was maybe a missed tackle or two. So I think an A.
Yeah. It's not like they have explosive running backs or anything like that. I think there weren't any great running backs in this game. But they made the tackles on the receivers when they could. Arch may have broken 1 or 2 tackles during the course of the game, but that was basically it. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good with an A here. Did you also do just an A or?
Yep. Just an A. Yep.
Okay. And we got an A from chat as well.
All right. Rush stop. Run stop. So tail 2 halves. There's a tale of 2 halves here. Ohio State did very well in the first half, held them to just over 3 yards per carry, 16 attempts on 53 yards. They got going in the second half, 21 attempts for 113 yards on the ground, just in the second half there.
Now you see Texas, why I put the in-game coaching at A-.
No, I understand. Found some things going there. So I'd say run stop. I would say, gosh, I would say B. I'll say a B.
All right, we have a B- from chat.
Okay.
Kyle says B. I'll go B+. It's still a really, really good Texas team. Like, we have to, this was, with all due respect to Wisconsin, we weren't playing Wisconsin here.
Yeah. Pass rush. They did fantastic. They did fantastic getting the pressure on Manning. So the stats isn't going to show up. They only had 1 sack, but they made him uncomfortable. He couldn't set. Sure. The only time he got comfortable, was able to throw the ball with accuracy, was the touchdown. Was the touchdown that he was able to throw. Other than that, he was not comfortable, able to set his feet. They got the pressure on him. A, absolutely.
All right. I just would have liked to have seen a little more consistent pass rush, specifically from the defensive ends. Like, I'm really fiending for. I feel like we haven't had a Bosa or Young type experience for the pass rush for a while. So not only that, but Texas had one of their offensive tackles was hurt. The other one had a messed up hand. I would love to see the edge rushers make themselves known a little bit more. I'll go with a B+.
Okay.
Plus. Chat went with B+ as well. Pass coverage.
A+. I thought pass coverage they did extraordinary. Yes, Matthews did let up the touchdown, but that was just a perfect pass. I thought he did pretty well to cover.
That was Iggy.
No, it was Matthews. Matthews had the interception and he was the one that led up the touchdown.
Oh, that's right. The one to Iggy got. No, never mind. I'm just wrong.
So yeah, A+. Best secondary in the nation right there.
Okay, I will say Zach makes a very good point. To be fair, Arch was also just straight ass.
You're right.
We really need
Spikes. It was a drop too.
We also need to acknowledge that like Arch like dirted a third of the balls he threw. And I'm being generous when I say a third of the balls, just like straight into the ground. But he was confused with the coverage. There were open guys that there were pass opportunities that he missed. And we already gave the game plan glowing reviews. I acknowledge that. But he missed open receivers a lot. So I'm going to go with like an A- here.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Chat?
A+ and an A-, so an A.
We got an A+.
All right. Next one, Jared, is...
Oh, an A+ and an A-, so it's an A. I now understood what you said. Cool.
Yeah.
A.
What's the next one there?
Stops.
They made the stops when they needed to, right?
Yeah, this is as much A+ as you can get as far as
it is.
Stop. I mean, if you're wondering what the hell does stops mean, stops is just drives and conversions, but on the defensive side. That's what stops is.
Texas was 1 for 2 on 4th downs. And was 0 for 3 on 4th downs in the second half.
And how did they do in the red zone, Kyle?
And 0 for 2 in the red zone.
Yeah. That's an A+ performance.
Yep. All right, containment.
Did you also do an A+?
Yeah, A+, yeah. Containment,
just in case it's not clear, is explosiveness on the other side. So not letting up big plays.
Well, yes and no.
It's not literal containment in that way, Spikes. It's like big play prevention is really what I'm trying to communicate with containment.
Ohio State let up 2 plays of over 30 yards. There was a 30-yard, a 32-yard, and a 28-yard on the reception. The 32-yard was the touchdown to Livingston.
Yeah.
And then rushing, there was a 15, 14, and a 13-yard runs as well, too. So if I'm going to go containment, I'll say A. I'm kind of between A- and A. I'll give him an A.
Yeah, I agree between A- and A, but I'm going to go with A-. I'm a little bit closer on that side. Right, and chat also said, well, we got an A+ and an A-. So I guess we'll even that out to an A.
All right, and impact. Impact, I would say.
Impact plays, game-changing plays.
A+. I'd say A+. You force an interception. You make your opponent go 0 for 2. Make your opponent go 0 for 2 in the red zone. And
stopping a sneak the way they stopped a sneak is really difficult.
So difficult, yeah. Texas 1 for 5 on 4th downs, yeah. Impact A+, absolutely.
Yeah, I would really love to see more sacks. I would love to see.
Sure.
But I'm going to go with an A+ regardless. Again, you have to keep in mind who they were playing.
Mm-hmm. And an A+ down the chat as well.
All right. We can move on to overall. Kyle, do we want to do a second ad break here?
Yeah, we need to do a second ad break. We're a little behind here. So thesloopcast.com again is that link. Anything, everything Sloopcast related. If you want to help support Jared and I, but don't want to go through Patreon, you can check out merch.thesloopcast.com. Again, merch.thesloopcast.com. If you want to pick up some Sloopcast gear, or if you're not into the podcast kind of gear, 7071 is an alternative merchandise store that you can check out over at 7071.thisloopcast.com. We'll go ahead and take that second ad break and finish up with our gradings.
All right. As Kyle said, we're a little behind here, so let's move through the overall team rankings quickly. In-game coaching. Right. This is basically Ryan Day. How did he do managing the game? All of that.
I
agree. This is maybe more of an. I think he did a good job with the clock management. I have no real complaints here. Again, this is more of an offensive complaint, so I don't even know if I'm going to hold this against him. But like, hey, when the run, so let's go a little more pass heavy. And
sure.
As the freshman stops being such a freshman, maybe you do that.
We got an A and an A+, so we'll just keep everybody at an A then.
Everyone's
motivation effort, A+. I mean, how much more motivation and effort can you get when you're playing Texas?
Yeah,
in week one.
The motivation and effort came prepackaged this weekend. We'll see
this may change next week. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it's still an A+ when Grambling comes to town.
All right, execution. It's a tale of two sides. It's a tale of two sides here. So I'm going to go more on the B- side for execution. Like to see the offense execute a little bit better. The line blocking a little bit better on the rushing. Receivers catching the ball better. So. I'll say B-.
Yeah, I'll go with a standard B personally, but chat will also go with a B-. So I guess
fine.
They're with you on that.
All right, discipline, 2 penalties all game, 0 turnovers all game. A+. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, no turnovers. Very limited on penalties. Yeah.
For being week 1 and only two penalties.
Yeah.
But one false start, and I don't remember what the second penalty was, but
and as Zach points out in the chat, no penalties for Iggy.
Yeah, no penalties for Iggy. Yes. All right, special teams. I'll say C+. I'll say C+. The punting's got to improve. Has to improve. He did have 2 punts over Joe. That is Joe McGuire. Did have two of his 6 punts go over 50 yards, but he definitely had a couple. Like 2 of those punts were pretty bad.
They were rollers. Those ones that went over 50 were rollers.
Yeah. So. Yeah. C+. It's got to improve.
I'll just second that. Yeah.
Okay. C- in the chat. C- in the chat there.
Chat's always meaner than we are.
Yeah.
Almost.
Let's see. Turnovers. I mean, A+.
Yeah. I mean, you play against an excellent defensive football team. You don't turn the ball over. I don't even remember them getting close to, like, there wasn't like, oh, Sayan really put that one, we got away with that one. I don't remember there even being a hint of a danger at turnovers on the offensive side. On the defensive side, they maybe should have had one more turnover than they officially had, but we don't complain about referees on this show. We do. Right, no, we don't.
A+ is all around. All right, and the offense. I'd say offense.
Overall grade for the offense. Again, let's
C. C+.
All right. Listen, don't let my disapproval.
It's expectations. I
yes.
I expect a lot more from.
With the expectations
from the wide receivers. what was 2.3 on the ground. Granted, I know, yes, it's Texas, but they did a lot better on the ground during the Cotton Bowl. Like 2.3
with
is
two
not
elite
going
running backs.
I understand, Jared, but it's the slobs up front that make it happen, and then it's on the running backs to read the hole and be able to make a play after that. They were not getting, the offensive line were not getting it done on the rushing attack there. That's got to improve.
You have to consider, again, I'll say this again, these are the two best defenses in the country in Columbus this weekend. Yes, we have high expectations for the offense, but the defense also has high expectations. Like the Texas defense has high expectations as well. I think you have to factor that in. I'm going to go with a B+.
Right.
And again,
got,
no, they said I got a B from Spikes.
Okay.
I don't know. It's they had no turnovers, which was huge. They had some drop issues, of course. I'm not giving them an A+. There were issues. The run blocking could be better, but the pass protection was great. There was no turnovers. Sayan managed the ball fantastically the entire game. I am incredibly geared up for this offense. I don't care what the statistics of what the offense did this weekend say.
Yeah. Defense, I'm kind of torn between an A and A+. Very, very good. The second half rushing stop is really, I'm having a hard time giving a plus or not because of letting up 5.4 yards on the ground on that second half there. So I'll say an A. So it's stellar defensive effort by this defense. So I'll say an A.
Okay. I'll say this. Let's again consider who they're playing.
They did slam the door shut when they needed to. Yes. I'm just splitting hairs at this point. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, this was the number one team in the country they were playing.
Yeah, such a jerk, Kyle.
I am going to agree with Kyle and just do an A. You have to execute better as far as the wide receivers. Excuse me, we're talking about the defense, but I am still just going to go with a defense. Yeah, I mean, 5.4 let up on the ground when I don't think Texas, again, has a good running attack. And you were aided a lot by Arch just dirting the ball over and over again. It's hard for me to give an A+ when you let that much up on the ground and you receive that much assistance from the other team's quarterback.
Yeah. All right. And overall A. It's very solid A. You beat Texas. I think have favored to win it all. I think it was the betting favorite to win it all, and you beat them at home. You only let up 7 points. Yeah, fantastic outcome.
I'm gonna have to throw the plus on this. I'm gonna have to do an A+. Number one team in the country. You just lost. What was it? 12, 14, 13 players to the draft. You lost. Was it 13 draftable 13 players to the draft? And then week 1, you defeat the number one team in the country. Granted, they also lost a lot
14.
of players to the draft. 14. Yeah. 2 new coordinators, 14 players lost to the draft. And then you show up and you beat the number one team in the country, granted at home, but still. That's got to be an A+.
All right, and I got an A in chat as well. All right, that is our scorecard.
Yeah.
Some work to be done. Some work to be done on the offense. Defense stellar, and overall, very happy Buckeye fans.
Absolutely. I'm much more excited about this year now than I was before the game.
Yeah.
I said a lot of what this season would hinge on Julian Sayin, because he was just the biggest unknown, and he was tremendous. Really, for considering the competition he was playing, considering it was his first ever start, considering he's a redshirt freshman. I mean, not even his first. These were his first competitive snaps.
They were.
And he looked that good.
Future's bright.
I saw a lot of CJ Stroud in him. I'm excited. All right, Kyle, do you want to hit the questions super quick?
Yep, we got two quick questions here. First one here. What are some creative ways to use JJ when coverage is too tight? Don't.
And that's a controversial opinion. But you got Max Clare, you got an entire crew of, you have Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, you have this entire crew of pass catchers. If they want to put 2 or 3 guys on one of your guys, the other guys are going to be open.
Yep, I agree with that.
Punish them. Punish them for trying to take JJ out of the game by just giving it to one of your other amazing wide receivers until they can no longer do that. And then now he's more open.
Mm-hmm. All right. And the last question we have here, do we think Brandon Ennis' seeming lack of involvement in the offense was a Texas thing, or is he the odd man out this year?
Texas thing.
Like kind of like the 2025 Julian Fleming, if you will.
No, it's not a Julian Fleming situation.
Yeah, they played. Yeah, it's a Texas thing.
They played a lot of 2 tight ends this game, and when you put a second tight end on the field, that means you take the slot wide receiver off the field. That's just math. You have, again, true freshman wide receiver true freshman quarterback taking his first ever snaps. A quarter of Julian Sayin's passing attempts, a quarter of them were to his tight ends. I don't know what to do with that. That just feels appropriate to me.
To both tight ends. So to go along with what you're saying, multiple tight end looks here, and he was looking at both of them.
Yeah. This was just a 2 tight end sort of football game. This was a run the ball type of football game. Especially like you got into the 4th quarter and Day and company were happy to run the clock and let the defense win it, and it worked out. There weren't a lot. How many passes did Sayin even throw?
20.
That's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They were happy again late in the game to kill the clock and let the defense win it, and it worked.
65% completion with.
Are you adding 4 in there?
How many with however many drops there was?
There were
I can't
4.
I can't find it.
There were
exactly
4 total. There were 4 like egregious drops. But yeah, that's 4. Fantastic work by Sayin. I'm so excited for Julian Sayin.
Yes. All right. I think that is it, Jared. We gave our gradings. We answered some questions. I think we're good.
All right. Tonight's ending music we brought to you by. Well, Kyle, do you have anything in Kyle's corner? Sorry, I skipped that part. You can. I
think we can all agree. Even before today, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
That I think, especially today, that the ESPN FPI is complete crap.
Yeah, FBI kept Texas at number 1. Listen, it's a computer poll. computer polls only work when there's data. Listen, this is not FPI's fault. This is ESPN's fault. You can't release a computer poll with such limited data. This is ESPN's fault for putting it out. It pissed off a bunch of Ohio State fans, which got ESPN a bunch of attention, which is what they wanted. Now, will it also end up like discrediting the FPI in a lot of people's eyes? Yes. Did they go for short-term rage bait over long-term quality? Yes. Well, there were still games left to be played when they released it. That too, Spikes.
According to Pick 6 previews, ESPN FPI is rated the 4th worst out of the top 10 publications in preseason prediction accuracies over the past 10 years.
It's
worst.
It's a computer poll.
Out of 10.
It is a computer poll. It needs data to work. A computer poll shouldn't be doing a preseason poll. A computer poll shouldn't be releasing ratings.
The FPI is complete horse shit.
No, ESPN is horse shit for releasing a computer poll without data to put into the damn computer. FPI is, I'm not going to defend it. I'm not saying it's great. What I am saying is that it's an algorithm. You need data to put into the algorithm. You can't use a computer poll as a preseason poll or as a week 1 poll. This is again, I'm not even saying the FPI is good or even whatever. I am saying this is ESPN's fault. That's all I'm saying. Like, the FPI is fine, maybe slightly below fine as far as algorithmic polls go, but it's an algorithm. It's an algorithm operating without data.
All right, that's it, Jared. We can end it there.
Okay. All right, tonight's ending music will be brought to you by 2 Cal Garage. So with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course, support your local podcasters. Once again, this is 2 Cal Garage.